Awaken Beauties, finally, it's here. The truth to empower women to true inner beauty through a healthy mind and inner biology. I am your hostess, Cassandra Keel, a 20-year salon owner, organic beauty product formulator, positive mind management, and clinical hypnotherapist. And I am here to help you stay sane, get sleep, and bring your sexy back. Sponsored by EvoqBeauty.com. EvoqBeauty.com. Now, let's get to it. Welcome to the Awaken Beauty podcast. This is Cassandra, your organic beauty, clinical hypnotherapist, and biofeedback practitioner. And today I'm going to be breaking down skincare, my ladies. So listen up, and I'm going to kind of create a dialogue, right? A dialogue between this constant fight between holistic skincare and, let's just call it, conventional and mainstream skincare. Now, I often come across information on the web or a podcast, and the correspondence is between skincare, which brings up a lot of frustration and commentary, and not much else. And as a formulator and someone that started an organic salon and spa over 16 years ago before it was cool, I really wanted to reintroduce just breaking this down and really kind of having this constructive conversation with you on the other side. And oftentimes this frustration and the commentary that really doesn't help you as the consumer understand anything other than these ingredients are bad, these ingredients will give you cancer, and look over here, my holistic beauty is like the perfect blend and it's going to absolutely, do the same thing Botox does, which all of this is in the realm of spaghetti on the wall. And they usually lead to very little progress in understanding or broadening the horizon between these two, let's call it, opposing viewpoints. And I find that in the end, the discussion and all the blogs and all of these things are somewhat helpful, but oftentimes it can also be a waste of time. So attempting to talk about skincare without first acknowledging if you come from a holistic or a mainstream school of thought is very similar to an attempt at having a constructive discussion about health without recognizing that we both have germs and we also have the terrain theory. So we or I invite you in to recognize that the existing theories are by their nature at odds with each other. And then we have to proceed to carry on the respectful discussion. So I trust that we will agree that when two individuals are measuring something that is best, right, they have a very different thought process and a very different ruler. So my intention is to create a clear and straightforward description of both what holistic and what mainstream conventional skincare is to demonstrate the impact each has on the health of the skin, our aging process, our psyche, and our general health and well-being as beautiful, pristine light beings that we are, right? Everything is vibration. So let's start, I should say. Let's start with mainstream and conventional skincare. So we can say that the mainstream skincare approach comes from the human intellect, whose nature is to dissect everything into smaller and smaller pieces in order to understand the form and the function. And this is why mainstream and conventional skincare sees the skin as separate from other systems of the body. And let's just say it treats it as such. And it is very much focused on one's appearance, on the pursuit of youth, on the removal of signs of aging, anti-aging. And even for me, it is a habit, and I try to remove it from my marketing, even if it is conceived as normal, or I want to use it so I can pull in an emotional response from my clients or my consumers for the Evoq Beauty Skin line, I actually say on my website, pro-aging. Okay, so this school of thought tends to offer treatments and products which interfere with or disrupt the natural function of the skin to achieve a desired result that's a downstream causation of society itself, of social conditioning. Has been happening for years, my friends. We all know this, right? So it's elusive, but we know this. So we have things such as chemical peels as a good example. Now, a chemical solution is applied to the skin in order to burn the surface and peel it off. The baby skin cells, the vitality of those cells, whether they're dead and then getting down to the alive, which are now forced to the surface, usually give that smoother, tighter, that less wrinkled appearance at hand. At the same time, that new younger skin without its natural protective barrier now is stripped away and becomes more sensitive to the sun. It becomes more sensitive to the environment. You lose water loss, and your skin barrier, your biome on the skin, which protects you and keeps the water plump, keeps the face healthy over long term, is greatly compromised. So there are many, 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 many serious questions being asked about the health and safety, as a lot of these ingredients, whether it's in a skincare product or chemical solutions within the spa. For example, let's talk about hormone disrupting parabens or carcinogenic formaldehyde. These products alone, when subset just by themselves and studied in very, very small percentages, may be safe. But what happens when you then conclude them into a product formula in itself as a whole? For instance, formaldehyde in the beauty industry, as I know, straighteners and all of these different chemical relaxers, formaldehyde, what happens is when you ignite them with heat, it creates the catalyst for them to become very, very toxic. Yet they are persistently being used as part of the mainstream skincare products and in treatments. So the mainstream approach seeks fast, surface-focused results. And in my opinion, it treats the skin very much like aspirin, or you're like trying to resolve a quick headache for a very long period of time, which then becomes very toxic and without much thought given to why the headache was there in the first place. So you can't wipe away wrinkles with a natural oil. I'm not saying that, but let's just say there's not much depth in the approach as it relates to physical or mental aspects of the skin as a human being that wants to look good and feel good, but with a very realistic point of view and one that is integrated with my soul. So as an example, acne can have a variety of systemic causes from hormone balances, or I shall say imbalances, stress, cortisol heightening, bringing the inflammation out in the skin. And everything, my friends, goes back to the digestive system and your gut health, right? And the mainstream approach insists on using invasive skin functioning suppressing treatments or products. And these products, as if they were able to actually bypass the need for addressing the root causes of the internal dysfunction, which is merely presenting itself through the outer of the skin. Now, the sole focus of treating that surface gives way to developing a dependency on those products as well. So benzoyl peroxide, we start drying out our skin. Well, our skin needs the oil to be able to protect and to presume and to be able to work within the biome to create a healthier biome, right? It also takes those anti-inflammatories through an internal process to get the skin to calm down. But we want to scrub away, push away, etc. And it really prevents an individual from looking deeper and developing that more meaningful relationship, not only with your body, but your well-being, right? I do not separate skincare from mental health. I do not separate my beauty products from my soul as a human being. right? What I want to do for myself is all self-care. And that includes products that I use and integrate because they have a vibrational resonance to them. And that's the basis of Evoq Skincare. It is first and foremost, when I started to get into formulating, I wanted to make sure that it was highly integrated with C minerals, because C is almost identical to our plasma, as is different essential oils and tannins and different things that are in the plant nutrients. We share the same DNA because that DNA from the plant material is made in cohesiveness with us as human beings to live together with nature so that we can heal from the plants, right? So I digress. I would go as far as to say that a very limited level of consciousness is required for this type of engagement with the self. Now, this is not a badge on you or anybody or the industry at large, but it is a raise of questioning the Awaken Beauty, right? The Awaken Beauty podcast is to awaken you to making more righteous decisions. And since the actual cause of the problem is never addressed, it just keeps reoccurring. We see this with skincare. We can see it with our health. You can see it with hormones. You can sleep with lack of sleep, anxiety. What is the underlying cause? And one is stuck on this path of never having searching an effective topical solution that can never resolve from an internal sense of root that is not being resolved through investigation, hiring a professional that can maybe help you bridge that gap, right? So also consistent mainstream messaging is put out through aggressive advertising and beautiful imagery and packaging at that. Now, I would argue that it is deeply influenced how people view themselves and how they feel about themselves and how they value themselves, right? We always aspire. We aspire to look like her. We aspire to have the latest and greatest. But disempowering words, my friends, targeting emotional responses in consumers are used over and over again with propaganda to fight against aging, to pursue youth, to fix, to cover up, whatever else sells that products of that cosmetic procedure, whatever that is, we will use it to get that sale, right? So it's patterning. Even I have to change that patterning as someone that's selling to the consumer that desires these effects. And yes, you can get these effects from natural products, right? We're going to move into that in just a second. So I'm going to suggest that sadly, unfortunately, profits will always overcome well-being. That drives most of this mainstream skincare industry. It's a $12 billion industry, right? And their goal is to sell and then sell some more. So my final thought here is that mainstream and conventional skincare school of thought is that it requires little conscious commitment for an individual. All you really need to do is really purchase, apply, or show up for your treatment and procedure, and it focuses on that instant reaction to the surface of the skin, but is void of the relationship with yourself, your body, and your beauty, right? And your beauty really is the essence of your energetic health and your vitality. So moving into holistic skincare. So if you're looking to be an active and conscious participant in your skin health journey, then holistic skincare will probably feel enriching and nourishing, and you feel good about purchasing from companies that are doing the right thing and aren't there to just add a little bit of it just to get the marketing ploy, because there's that going on as well as I just had a conversation tonight with one of my clients that is a manager of a leading aromatic company here in Minnesota, and they partner with Germany and they sell all over the world, thousands and millions of dollars, right? And they're getting pushback because they have potassium sorbate used at a very small amount, which is much better than parabens. And you go to EWG and it says that it's a high marker in the number, but the EWG, right, had their own has their own idea of what they think that safe skincare is. But I can tell you the EWG, as good as they have done as far as marketing bad ingredients, they do not distinct between the percentages used, right? Now, I can viably say that I am on their site. We have a 1 and 0 number rating on their site, but at the same time, they've done more harm than good in some respects too. We're not looking at the percentage of use and what the alternative is. So in general, holistic skincare is driven by the principle of wholeness. This is coming from me, evoquebeauty.com. My intent to really create a ritual for women that made them nourish and acknowledge their state of consciousness and the embodiment and the embodiment of who they are as a woman, right? That every cell, every part of us is interconnected, as intimately connected to our ethos, our ecosystem, and our environment. And this principle is also applied by many who practice various disciplines of natural medicine, which is my love for functional medicine, getting to the root. So rather than treating just the physical symptoms of the disease, we take in account the whole person. I take in account all parts of you, your mental state, your lifestyle, your environment, how you create rituals in your life, even the cycles of nature and the day of the time that you use your skincare products. The core 4 of my product regimen is based on the circadian rhythms that are changing out through the day and the night and what your skin needs, right? And their effect on your health. So all of these aspects can affect the health and the appearance of your skin. Now, such is skincare perceived through the holistic lens as it recognizes the wisdom within each individual, the wisdom of your body, your wisdom, and your wisdom that lives within nature. And it embraces all seasons of life, right? No matter your age. Equally beautiful, equally important, equally valuable. Because beauty, my friends, I'm speaking from my heart, doesn't disappear because wrinkles are showing up on a woman's face. If anything, the holistic approach celebrates each year lived and the wisdom that the beauty comes from within it. So it actually sees the limitations and perceiving through intellect alone, since life force, which is present in all living things, including plants, and cannot be dissected into these tiny little pieces and then fully explained with words generated by intellect and thrown into a bottle. Harmony, right? So with Evoq Skincare, the second 2.0, what I'll call 2.0, is that every single one of my products is not only have live nutrients, living formulas, but they also are harmonized with consciousness quantum energy through Leela Technology, which is the latest technology company in the world, quite frankly, that is time tested and leading in quantum technology and charging both all my supplements I sell, all my skincare, hair care, everything. I even charge my food at night. And what it does is it brings out the consciousness and the highest level of vibrancy, meaning the vitality of the frequency of the product, so that they have better absorption, that they work better, and they are meeting your skin and your state of consciousness with love and delight, my friends. It's not hooey pooey, it is actual science. And so to close this off, there is absolute cultural bias that suggests that holistic health and beauty practices are not proven, that they don't work as well, they're not scientific, or inferior to the mainstream. And even though they stand very firmly on the principles of the beautiful ancients of Eastern medicine, Chinese medicine, the philosophies of Ayurvedic, it goes back ages. They brought the essence of herbal medicine and aromatherapy wisdom and years of beautiful therapies that honor a human being. For some of us, that is more than satisfactory as we appreciate the knowledge gathered through thousands of years of careful observation, application, love, respect, just gathering and putting the formulas together and the love that is put into it. It's a true scientific method. And holistic skincare formulas are very different from mainstream cosmetic products. They just are, both in their ingredient list, their purpose, their vibrancy. Let me just bring this back. You know, you got dead food and you got real food. You've got dead skincare and you have vibratory skincare. That's Evoq Beauty. Holistic skincare formulas that are prepared from plant-based, oceanic, and other beautiful herbaceous medicinal herbs, unrefined cold press oils, essential oils, hydrosols, all are our foundation, because that freshness and purity of all the ingredients are the top priority, because ultimately the ingredient quality is where the integrity and the effectiveness of my formulas start. So net, the purpose of holistic products is to really support healthy skin function, to strengthen its natural biome, its natural protective barrier, and the immune response, and to provide it with pure whole nourishment. So in short, the skin knows what it needs to do. It just needs for the obstacles to be removed. And the obstacles are not acne or wrinkles. The obstacles are that the skin is not gentle enough to be able to receive the nutrients if you're constantly tearing it down. It needs to get proper nutrition. It has its own metabolic waste that builds up and has its own way of getting rid of it. The emotional pressure is building up in the muscles and the skin tissue, which leads to that stagnation and lack of vitality. And the objective of holistic skincare is really healthy, resilient skin, which it will, as a result, naturally look, feel, and look vibrant if you give it what it wants and needs in its natural process. So rather than forcing the skin into this desired behavior, such as chemical peels, a holistic skincare practitioner or Evoq Beauty skin line chooses to support your skin function first through improving both circulation, vitality, and providing the building blocks such as the antioxidants, the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, the phytonutrients, right? That come directly from whole plants, providing the fresh whole plant nutrition for the skin. And that transfers into your life force of who you are from that plant as well, the knowledge, the intelligence to the skin. Just like with the food that we eat, you can never really compare the value of the life of wholesome organic salads compared to a synthetic vitamin, right? As such is the difference between holistic beauty and skincare and hair care versus conventional cosmetics. So holistic skincare really does apply that organic plant formula, aromatherapy, and various even facial techniques and lymphatic drainage and dry brushing, and includes beautiful science of acupuncture and acupressure and connective tissue work and subtle energy work, right? They rely on skilled hands and skilled products put together through harmony and consciousness versus machines and sophisticated equipment that pulls everything apart and it, tries to put it back in a treatment room. So that's it. Skin problems can always arise, right? But harsh products and systemic imbalances are not the answer. How much sense would it make to treat acne caused by poor diet by applying a cream and continuing to eat French fries from McDonald's? So when skin problems or aging present themselves, there are solutions within the natural skincare line that does bring vitality and results. Now, I cannot end this without talking about lifestyle and changes to our diet, exercise, stress management. All are healthy ways to also look at taking care of our skin. It is not separate from the whole of who we are. The chakras, the meridians, how our digestive, our chi is moving, everything has energy, and it is all dependent on one vital energy point to the next vital energy, the consistency and the vitality of let's just call it the velocity of money, like it does in the industry. It's the velocity of energy that moves through the body. So herbal medicine, organic foods, Evoq Beauty products, Evoq supplements, homeopathy, breath work, exercise, meditation, mindfulness skincare practices, taking in and practicing gratitude when you're wiping on your skincare and just pouring over yourself with self-love. That is vibration. Facial massages is vibration. right? It maintains that healthy skin and the vitality is increased. So, of course, it's a person to person and a personal choice. And I really look at this at the level of consciousness we choose to engage with ourselves and life in itself. And of course, holistic approach to skincare requires more energy. But if you really choose to live an empowered, conscious life, you can find companies like Evoq Beauty that really put the conscious part into your ritual. Not only as a woman business owner, adopting empowering extractions with who I partake with and who I help me blend, making sure it's done professionally and there's no rancidity in the products, using high quality vitamin C ester that's encapsulated in a fatty acid so that it really travels efficiently versus just a absorbic acid, which goes rancid once it hits the air, right? It's all in the embrace and the embodiment of how it's formulated, what it's extracted from, and then putting the energy back into that product and delivered to you. And then it's your part to pick up that beautiful ritual and treat yourself as such. So, embodied consciousness through holistic skincare. And I'll just leave it up to you, my friends. I just wanted to share that. I love talking about this. I talk a lot about mindset and consciousness and plant medicine and all these different aspects of women and hormones and ADHD. But, this is just such an essential part of our daily activity that I really wanted to come at not a judgmental approach, truly, but just a factual layout of what these two sides look like and what vibrationally feels good to you as you listen to this podcast. So with that said, please do share it. Please do visit evoqbeauty.com, evoqbeauty.com. You get 10% off your first order when you sign up. And we're going to be coming out with master classes and seasonal guides to, the 5 elements through the fall and the spring and the winter and the water season and all of this, and how we can really start to integrate our lives with nature again. It's so needed. So with that said, all of my love and all of my light. If you have any questions about skincare or skincare needs and anything that you are maybe struggling with, just let me know. We can do labs, we can do nutrigenomics, we can really dial this in. So accessible today as far as the tools and the resources. So with that said, all my love, all my light. And as always, stay sane, get sleep, and always bring your sexy back. Well, hello, Awaken Beauty. Thank you so much for joining the show today. Were you inspired? Please leave a comment or your own personal aha moment so others can capture exactly what you did. Also, please like and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you're interested in high quality natural products for your hair, skin, and wellness, including organic CBD, please visit evoqbeauty.com. Again, that is evoqbeauty.com, evoqbeauty.com. And until next time, darling, stay sane, get sleep, and bring your sexy back.